Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Spirit to Dowsey. I'm Dowsey LeMay. Hopefully all you beautiful creators, you beautiful soul family that I have out there are doing great wherever you are in the world. Thank you for watching this video and hopefully it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, like I always say, use your own discernment, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Okay, so today we're doing the energy update for January 2022. I chuckle a little bit because I can't believe we're already going into the new year, given the fact that we've had such a tremendous upheaval and changing year 2021. If you look back at what happened in 2021, without a doubt, there's been lots of chaotic energy, chaotic things that caused a lot of you, or forced a lot of you to look at yourself through the changing environment that you had socially and also personally in your personal environment. And so hopefully you've taken those lessons and become aware of yourself. That carries over into the energy that we're moving into 2022. Now, the numerology for the year is around 6. 6 is about harmonizing. 6 is about shifting what we known and learned about and through the 5 and harmonizing within us individually as well as collectively. Okay, so that means we're searching for more connection, more love and compassion, which is going to be great teachers as we move through this year. So think about the ideas of wanting to connect with others, being compassionate, feeling, wanting to hold love and space for other co-creators, but also connection with ourselves, right? Through the awareness of the changing environment that we had in 2021, we are now aware of ourselves and who we are, that we can finally align through our awareness and our conscious being as we move forward through the year with what we want and remove the things that don't fit with us. So self-love is key here, okay? That means things are gonna move in and out of our life to harmonize with who we are, right? It also means healing. Healing in the terms of we've had an abrupt, let's say an acute type of injury, right? And what is typically the most painful times? Usually it isn't quite the injury itself, it's the days following the injury, right? 2 to 3 days after you've had a big exercise or an injury. It's the soreness, it's the pain, it's the inability to move and deal with what you've had. That's usually the most difficult times that I have found through injury or through any type of healing. It's what comes after the awareness of the event. So expect that this year is going to be profoundly powerful as well as difficult and ugly. Healing isn't always about rainbows. Healing isn't always about sunshine. It's about coming to an awareness of who you are and then determining what serves you as you go forward and removing or integrating or eliminating things that don't fit with you anymore. And that could be ugly. That could be removing friendships or relationships that don't serve you, removing habits, removing identities that don't serve you, and that process is a difficult one to go through. So expect 2022, although it's going to be more harmonizing, it's around healing, and that healing sometimes doesn't look pretty. It can be dark, it can be painful, but in the end, it's there to harmonize you to be in a better alignment with what you want and what is for your highest good as you go forward. Okay, so there's a couple things that are happening this month, such as the new moon in Capricorn. That basically means, as I have always talked about new moon cycles, is that that's a clean slate, and it's especially the fact that it's in Capricorn, which rules around the materialistic aspects, right? The physical world that we deal with. Capricorns are really ingrained in that area. You can expect a clean slate from the materialistic physical side. So this is a great time for all of us to have a fresh quote unquote start for what you want. The things that you have been thinking about, the things that have been in the back of your mind that you feel like, I would really like to do that, this would be a great opportunity to do that in alignment with the new moon in Capricorn. So if you also think about the infinity sign here, right? Knowing ourselves as creators, as being part of source, we are moving through basically a spiral, or in a sense, we are moving through an infinity curve. And it feels like right now we've gone through one side of the infinity curve, we're in the middle, and we're moving out of that middle point of the infinity curve to experience another expansion. Keep that in mind, right, as things work in cycles, because right now with the numerology of January being a 1, it feels like that's the fresh start coming out of the center point of the infinity curve, if there is such a thing as a center point, but moving out of that node where the curves meet, and we're expanding out in a different way. So think about this month being truly around fresh start, fresh energy, getting that momentum to do things on the physical level that you've been holding back on, or that you've been wanting to do to move into the physical realm, would be a really good opportunity this month to do that. So this energy we're working with this month also is calling for a lot of us to have this awareness for our divine feminine side of it, right? We are being called forth to utilize our intuition and our emotional balance to kind of wade through what's going to happen in this month, right? Especially when it comes to experiences that kind of push us and make us feel defensive, like the old patterns that you have been aware of. You're going to be kind of confronted with that, and it's going to be calling forth through your being to look beyond the surface level of what you're seeing. Don't get triggered and fall into the old patterns of what you have always been. You have new awareness now. See beyond the surface level. Use your intuition and say, there's more to this story than what I am seeing. And to use your emotional balance and your intuitive gifts, your intuition, to see beyond what is actually occurring for its face value, right? Don't let the surface stuff fool you. Don't be the fool to rush in quite yet. You know, be calm, nourishing and loving to yourself. Have some insight into what the experiences are occurring, and that will give you a much better dealing as you go forward for the rest of this month. Because things are looking to harmonize. Things are looking to shift and to move out and to rearrange itself for your highest good. At face value, it may not feel like that, and you could get triggered into the old patterns that you have, but it's calling forth to say, you are now a conscious being. You've had these experiences. Look at what's occurring for you to see for yourself, because you are holding more love for yourself, and to rearrange what no longer fits with you and get in alignment with what does fit with you. And that requires you to kind of see a little bit beyond the surface level of what's happening, okay? Because the overall energy that's playing out is just this new, fresh, that's all I can keep saying. It's a fresh start, right? So we are having a lot of mental clarity. We're having new paths open up for us, new inspiration. So it's a good time to move and take action on things that you have been sitting on in the back of your mind. So think about New Year's resolutions here, right? I don't want New Year's resolutions, but just New Year's intentions. What are your intentions for yourself now that you know more about who you are and you are aware of yourself? What are these things that you are looking to accomplish that fit in alignment with you, right? Whether it be something about feeling better about who you are, working out, eating better, finding a new job, etc. These things are going to be coming to the forefront because we have a new moon in Capricorn, clean slate, right? Fresh start, mental clarity, and we're just being asked to use a little bit of our intuition, a little bit of our emotional balance that we have discovered through the process of the 2021 changing environment, so that we can choose in a purposeful manner with consciousness into the direction that aligns with us as we harmonize within our energetic field. All right? So also keep in mind that as you go through this, this energy of fresh start, it's also like a freeing aspect that's coming up, right? I've always talked about this idea of freedom, especially in the last few years, but as we move forward, freedom is going to be a big proponent. Financial freedom, freedom from government agencies, etc., right? Freedom, success, and victory is rising, right? You are breaking free of a lot of the old attachments, a lot of the old programs, or perhaps even the situations that you have been confronted with over and over in the last several years, you're finally getting yourself in a different place, in a different perspective to allow you to break free of these patterns that no longer serve you. So the tangled mess, the tangled patterns, the attachments are a lot, it feels like the strings are being cut, or the grasp that they used to have on you are being let go. And now it's saying, where do you want to go? Now that you have nothing holding you back, where will you go? What will you do? This is a great time to kind of jump into those passions, jump into the inspiration, the creativity that has been there, being called forth through your higher being, wanting to express and being creative in a different outlet than when you have currently been, or what you have currently been used to up until now, right? So I also wanted you to think about this image, like you as a being are standing outside and it's night and the sky is clear, and then you look up and you see the stars, right? You're looking up and you're seeing up the night sky, and up there, I want you to look at it and imagine that all that glory, all the grandiose of which is the universe, which is the cosmos, and as well as this planet, that you are in some way connected to all of that. That you are ultimately one with all of that. And that energy, that knowing that you are part of all that there is, that you are part of the a great spirit that is the creative energy that flows through you and flows through every aspect of what you see in your environment, is also within you. That space of knowing is going to be so powerful for you as a wind to your back to carry you through the new fresh starts that you're looking to start, right? The new energy that is here. It's going to help you and amplify the things that you are looking to do. So connect with that energy of the abundance that's out there. Connect with the universe and knowing that you are supported, that you are loved, and that you are blessed to create which you want to create. You are free to do so now. You are ultimately the creator, empowered, beloved piece of source, allowed to create what you want. And this is a great time to have that fresh start and move forward in the direction that you want. So do those things, but connect with this aspect to you that knows that you are supported and that you are loved. Because what I will say on the flip side of this, and the reason why many of you guys are hesitant to start doing things, even though they're really being called forth to you, is some self-worth issues, right? Let's talk about that for a minute, because many of you guys do not think that you are good enough, that you have what it takes to accomplish what you want to do, that you have the skills or the know-how, or just who am I to do this, write a book, or who am I to start a channel, or who am I to start a new business, etc. You don't think that you have the ability, you don't have the talents, you don't have whatever, etc. And all of it ultimately leads to self-worth. You are getting in your own way from accomplishing or aligning with what you really, really like because of some limited belief that you have around money, around who you are as a person, around the social constructs that are associated with with doing this. It's time for you to free yourself up. The energy is saying you are free. You are free as a creator to create what you want. You have awareness now. You have the ability to have emotional balance and to utilize this fresh start while connecting to knowing the energy that you are connected to source. And all of that's there for you as a supportive being for you to take that initial step to becoming what you wanted to or to align with what you want to do. You have it all. It's all there mentally, spiritually, energetically, physically. You got it all. Just stop getting in your way and start moving towards that. You got to take those steps to do that. All right? So that's what I feel a lot of you are self-talking yourself or self-talk, right? You have these negative self-talk things that are stopping you from accomplishing the things that you want to do. You know, I remember some story, and I can't remember that there are people who out there who take the safe job, right? They go out and they enter the corporate world and they do a job that they think is safe, they make good money, etc., and then they get fired, right? Versus, and they never end up doing the things that they really want to do because they thought this was a safe route. Life is about doing things with passion and taking that a step towards creativity around the things that you really draw to your soul, right? If you're gonna fail doing things that are basically safe and are, I would say, maybe easy or maybe not even in your highest good, then why not fail at doing something that you love and that really gets you inspired and fired up, right? This is what this energy is about. 2022, harmonizing, taking that fresh energy, but get out of your own way. It's the whole key to this. It's the self-talk that no longer serve you, right? You have all the gifts, you have all the support from spirit, from source, whatever you want to call it. You have support from your friends and your family, and the ones that don't support you, they're gonna fall to the wayside. So use that energy and step into your authenticity, step into your power, and really empower yourself and know that that love for you is always there. And that connection that you have to the universe, to the stars, etc., will really go a long way as you utilize the fresh steps and the fresh energy to build upon the inspirations that you have within you. Okay, so this month, what we're gonna deal with a lot from an energetic center, a lot of you guys are gonna be, I feel, will be dealing with a lot more of the solar plexus, right? The solar plexus is our power center. So what does that mean? Pay attention to your gut. I talked about the divine feminine energy here. The solar power energy, the solar power of the solar plexus, that power center, right? That is usually intuitive signal for you to say, this is either good for me or bad. Sometimes you guys keel over in your stomach, right, when you hear bad news, or you get this feeling in your gut, right? That intuition, oh my gut just doesn't feel good about that. Go with that energy, right? Go with that signal from your body saying, this energy doesn't align with you. This energy is taking away your power, right? These beliefs, based on how your gut feels, makes you aware of that these programs, these beliefs don't fit with you anymore. They don't sit with you. So it means sit with your intuition, see beyond the surface level, go a little bit deeper in your emotional balance, be cautious of your solar plexus as you go through this month, and that will really help you get through a lot of this, I would say, surface level minutia that could drag you down into the low vibrational triggering events and patterns that you're always used to. So that also means that from a social perspective, right, we may be seeing some events as things shift around that cause you to feel disempowered, okay? We all know what those situations can be, especially around the health environment, especially around lockdowns, etc. The solar plexus is calling forth for you to look at yourself and to see beyond what the surface level is so that you can integrate it and disassemble the beliefs that you have about yourself and to realign and harmonize with what is more aligned with you. Things that are around empowerment, things that are around self-love and connection with you and with other people in the social environment, okay? Also, I want to make this last statement. I realize that what's happening in relationship to the world, right? You are alone and empowered to freely choose, okay? As a divine being, as a creator, you are free to choose how you want to create your reality. I know in some instances it may feel like you don't have the choice, but ultimately that choice is always yours. It's always going to be yours. So how can you ever feel like a victim when the power to choose has always been within your hands, right? How can you be a victim to the creations of which you chose to create? You ultimately made those decisions. So what we see as a society, what we see individually in our own realm, as well as it expands out into the collective, those choices have been ultimately ours. And so for a lot of you, requires you to kind of take back some of that energy, some of that power, means for you to really look at yourself and saying, I no longer allow these things to play out in my life. I choose differently. I choose not to comply with these things. I choose not to buy these products. I choose not to do what is asked of me, etc. Those are ultimately your choice. And the shifts and the harmonizing and the pain that we may experience as a collective as well as individually are solely the time that's spent in that, whatever the construct of time is. That energy of us going through that transition is ultimately up to each one of us to determine how long we want to hold on to these disempowered beliefs. So I really am calling upon a lot of you as you go through this fresh start, as you go through this energies of which I talked about in this video, in relationship to connection to society and your friends and family, and in relationship to yourself, to really ask yourself, are my choices for my highest good? And the more you realize that you have more power than you actually do, the easier this transition will be for a lot of you. So I wanted to say I love you. I wish you guys the best in 2022. May it bring you health, prosperity, and purpose. And if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me on my website, spiritualdowsy.com, or by all means, go out and get my book, Becoming the Creator, A Practical Guide to Spirituality and Connection. I love you all. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.